What do you think, guys? Gloves or no gloves? I think gloves tonight, huh? What do you think? Gloves? It's getting cold. It's almost winter. Time for gloves. What is happening? What is happening? Good evening, good evening. Few people here, yeah. I'm not in London. I would have liked to be in London, but I'm sure I told you guys my wife's pretty pregnant. I think maybe like I should know this, like 25 weeks or something. So yeah, I'm you know what, Andrew and Colin and all that have gone. I could have gone, but like at the same time I don't want to take the piss. So I decided to stay home. I've got another tournament in November. Maybe we'll get to the GT next year. Mind you, plus, is England even that safe right now? Like, they still get 20,000 cases of COVID every day. It feels like a lot for, feels like a lot of risk for me. I don't think they're wearing any masks or anything. Do you know what, it's maybe a little bit too warm for the gloves still, but you know, I have been meaning to paint Terminators. I think I have about 40 Terminators, and I've been meaning to paint them for forever. So, you know, that's what we're going to be doing tonight. A little bit of Terminators. Good evening, Highland. Good evening, Mark. Good evening, Chris. Hey, Jace. Hey, Robert. Hey, Spiderwig. I used to always stream on a Thursday night. But the reason I sort of stopped streaming on Thursday nights was time. And when I say time, I mean that I struggle some weeks to get a video ready every Friday. So I spent a little bit of time over the last... Yeah, sometimes, you know, like I was doing those videos about the new Warhammer TV show, which I found were pretty fun to make. I haven't made one in a while. I'd like to do another one. I haven't actually watched Angels of Death in a while. You can't see this, but this room is a disaster zone, like an absolute disaster zone. I'm moving house in like 3 weeks. Maybe I can just change the camera and you can see. Do you see all these boxes behind me? Like piled as high as they can go everywhere. Like this is what my whole house is like. So this is why I've not been streaming as much. The place is literally a disaster zone. Like there's no space anywhere. We're moving in like 3 weeks. And apparently we have a lot of stuff. Baby stuff, all this sort of nonsense. So yeah, so I used to always stream on Thursday nights. I guess I got really busy and haven't been able to stream on Thursday nights. I thought to myself, I really enjoy the live streams where we're just hanging out and chatting. So I thought to myself, we'll just stream tonight. Like I could have, I don't know, I could have had 2 videos made this week, but like I've been working on my tournament video every night since Sunday. Like every night, Sunday night, Monday night. Oh no, Monday night I was playing Warhammer, so Sunday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night. And it's not ready, so I could have rushed it and tried to get it out this week, but I have an interview with Jack Harpster, about his 7-1 tournament victory, 3rd place at the US Open. I had like a 45-minute chat with him on the stream. So I've got that coming out tomorrow, if you want to watch that. And then my tournament video, I guess, will be even longer and will come out like next Friday. So if you're worried, I've made like 30 slides. I'm going over every single game that I played in that tournament, and I'm talking basically all my secondaries, all my primaries, everything. Newest Angels of Death episode is pretty legit. Yeah, you know, I've got about 3 Angels of Death episodes to watch now. So probably what I'll try and do maybe is watch them all at once, and then make a video on like 3 episodes at once, because I don't know, I thought the episodes were too short. Like 10 minutes long or 12 minutes long to me feels a little bit too short. Redemptor legs are notoriously tricky. I screwed up my first dreadnought. What's tricky about Redemptor Red's legs? Sorry, I have 4 teenagers. Between me and my wife, they possesses? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Are you going to be talking about leaked NDA, or should we avoid it? I have no idea about a leaked NDA. My work has got us back in the office now. So like the last few days, like I'm in the office sort of 8 till 6, and then when I get out of the office, I'm just coming home and I'm just packing. I've been packing now for like, I honestly cannot believe how much stuff we have. We went on vacation earlier this year, and like there's just so much baby stuff. So no, I don't know anything about a leaked NDA, so feel free to fill me in. No, the baby's not due until January, so we should be all moved. We're moving at the end of October, so we should be all moved. I guess if you don't see any content from me the last week of October, you'll know why, but I'll try and have a video ready for the week that I move, so that there's something coming out. I'm moving on the Monday, so probably not going to do the Monday night live game that week. But maybe time allowing, we can like have a live game on like the Saturday or something. But yeah, the baby's not due until January, so I'm sure we're going to get moved. And we're happy to get moved before the baby's due. But yeah, it's just a busy few weeks for me. Robert asks what we're working on tonight. It's spoilers. If you tell us what your thoughts on the melee Blood Angels meta would be, are you going back to jump melee? 100% no Island Phoenix. I actually really like my list. Like really like it. I have another tournament coming up. If Andrew's going to run that stupid buggy list to the other tournament's much more local. Like it's a tournament in Elgin, so there's probably only be like 20 or 30 players, but I would like to at least do well in it. And I'm not going to be beaten by a stupid buggy list. So if Andrew's going to take that stupid buggy list to the tournament and it's not been nerfed, then I'll take a list that includes the falchion. I really don't want to have to take the falchion, but like I'll take it just because it 100% beats the buggies. Like they can't kill it, and on the stream this week we saw that basically every turn the falchion kills 3 buggies. So as long as the rest of my army does something, I'll win the game. And the falchion's decent. Like I like the falchion, but like I'd rather play the list that I have right now with the dreadnoughts. And I'm trying a few different things. And I'm in the tournament video that I'm doing. I'm breaking down a few of those different things as well, right? Because like I said, in the tournament I went to, every game I put the chaplain and 6 Vanguard veterans onto one of the flanks. And their mission was to basically contest one objective. I didn't care if they killed anything. They were supposed to just get onto a flank and get on an objective and just make it difficult for the enemy to like stranglehold me or like outscore me in primaries. And like while it worked ish, it definitely worked ish. It also meant like the Vanguard veterans and the Primaris chaplain were super exposed, and typically they got killed pretty quickly or they got mopped up. So the reason I'm painting Terminators is because I think I can do the same thing with like a more durable unit. And I actually, at the moment, I was painting 7 Terminators, because 7 Terminators with bolters and like chain fists and power fists, which is what I've got all here. That's about the same cost as the Primaris chaplain on the bike and 6 Vanguard veterans, sorry. But part of me actually thinks that I might do 5 Terminators on a squad of suppressors, because there's a supposedly elite GW NDA that people are mad about. Too long you cannot criticize GW products or a company that puts them in bad way. Are you naming the baby Mephisto and Dante? No, I will not name them. But I'm doing well, thank you. I'm hesitant to buy a repulsor for my Fleshter's army to deliver my Bladeguard and Gabriel Seth. What do you think? Well, for one, Seth can't go in the repulsor because he's not Primaris, sorry. So that kind of rules out that idea. But I don't think repulsors are very competitive either. They're too many points and they don't have an invulnerable save, so they can get shot off the battlefield fairly easy by things like Drukhari Raiders. Buy a drop pod if you're looking for a way to deliver Seth. I don't necessarily think Bladeguard veterans need a delivery method. I really don't. And next Friday I have a video. I took 5 Bladeguard veterans in my tournament list that I just passed, and I'm going to keep 5 in them, and I don't have any delivery method for them. They're basically the one unit that I set front and center, and they friggin' charge to the middle of the map every game. And in some of the games they end up in the opponent's deployment zone, right? Like using my pile-ins and consolidations to get extra movement out of them. So I really don't think you need a delivery method for the Bladeguard. You do, however, need a delivery method for Seth, and the repulsor isn't it because he can't go in a repulsor. But yeah, I'm doing well, Steel Rain, thanks for asking. Just offered a bigger house, hopefully they get accepted. Good luck, Kevin. Yeah, I know the pain. We actually had the highest offer on another house and got rejected because it was going to take us too long to sell our current house. I am doing a lot of power fists and mainly chain fists. I've done some conversions here. So these are some with chain fists. I was kind of tempted to paint to put some yellow onto the bolters because that's how they used to get done many years ago, but I really haven't decided the colors on these Terminators at all yet. I guess they're in their early stages of me just getting base coats on them. I've discovered the power of caffeine and intend to use it to its full potential. Okay. I guess if there's a leaked NDA about Games Workshop, it'll be something to do with like, so some people, if you're lucky enough for Games Workshop to notice you, and if you're lucky enough, I guess, for Games Workshop to think you're big on YouTube, they'll send you some products for free, right? Like Midwinter Minis used to have an NDA with them where they like sent him like copies of Blackstone Fortress. I'm sure like Goobertown Hobbies always has the box sets early and stuff. So I guess like, you know, although these guys get the products for free, up until now I guess probably all that they've had to do is they get the products for free and they've just had to make a video on them, right? And I believe I spoke to another content creator, I'm not going to name names, but they said that if you get 10,000 subscribers, Games Workshop will like start to notice you, I guess. Because once you've got 10,000 subscribers, I guess like you've got a regular audience and they may take interest in you. I mean, like, it's not guaranteed or anything like that from like, what I understand. But if you get to 10,000 and you have like good videos every week, I just wish Relic Terminators got a Homer. Yeah, I mean, I love how the Relic Terminators can take the Lightning Claws. It is annoying that they can't take the Teleport Homer. And I guess if you get to 10,000 hobbies, Games Workshop will maybe send you some boxes of the new releases, or they'll maybe send you the codexes early. So I guess if they're going to change their NDA, so if they're doing that for you, which is pretty nice of them to be honest, you can't be negative about them. And I think that's fair to say. Like, some people would say it's like censorship, I guess, but like, is it not also a little bit of like, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all sort of thing? Like, they're literally giving you hundreds of pounds of free products. If you don't want those free products and you don't have anything nice to say, then like you can terminate your NDA, right? I don't know. I would have thought that was kind of an unwritten rule anyway. Like, you know, it's not like a footballer wears Nike shoes and then like on his own YouTube channel goes like, hey, those Nike shoes are a piece of crap, right? Hey Osama, thanks for subscribing. Good evening, how you doing? So yeah, I would have thought that was kind of an unwritten rule anyway. But no, I haven't seen any NDA. But like I said, I've been swamped with being back in the office for the first time in like 18 months. And then just trying to keep up with the family and trying to get moved and all this. I do like the idea of yellow in the power fists. I was thinking of yellow in the bolt guns, Highland Phoenix, but like I really don't know if I can make it look good, and I've already put black on this, so it means, excuse me, painting yellow over the top of black, which is going to be like so many coats. I dread to think how many coats of paint that's going to be to try and get yellow to go smoothly over black. Probably like, well, yellow doesn't go over colours at the best of times, so like 3? Sounds like a cool project, Kevin. I actually have a bunch of Stormcast stuff I was thinking of doing the same with at some point. But yeah, I'm trying to get through. I'm still trying to get my backlog done. I have just such a nasty backlog of models, and I haven't really bought anything in like 6 months at this point. Like, I'm just trying to get through what I've got. The only thing I want to buy at the moment is those damn Relic Contemptors with the Volkite cannons, because they are, I feel like they're a little bit overpowered at the moment. I feel like those Volkite cannons could go up 5 or 10 points easily and they'd still be balanced. If you have a Relic Contemptor with those Volkites and you're near someone that's giving you rerolls, it's really good. Is the NDA even real? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we should just move on from the subject of the NDA. If it is real, all the other Warhammer content creators, well, I was going to say someone will make a video on it and we'll find out if it's real. But I guess it'll be a video by someone that's not actually getting free stuff from them. But yeah, I mean, I actually know very few other YouTubers. I know, yeah, like I've had very little contact with any other YouTubers. I did sort of challenge Auspex Tactics to a game, because I would like to have Auspex Tactics on my channel at some point. And like, I congratulated him when he got to like 100,000, but I mean, that was like 6 months ago. I challenged him to a game, so, and who knows how long it'll be safe before COVID and all that nonsense, I guess. Painting these Captain Terminators as Honor Guard from Angels of Death, maybe? I haven't seen any Terminators yet in Angels of Death, but I am a couple of episodes behind. You're not allowed to criticize in any way, even the product is downright garbage or it's constructive criticism. People are being silenced, and it also affects Warhammer Plus. I struggled like a goon to pick a start to my Blood Angels army out 2 boxes of Sanguinary Guard and Seth if I decide to get wacky with successors. Good evening, Akril. Hello Techno Noob, how you doing? Last Fusel Eliminator thoughts? I have 6 Eliminators and I have 3 of them with the Last Fusels, or 2 of them with the Last Fusels and 1 Sergeant with the Instigator Carbine. I like Eliminators because of the Sergeant with his Carbine, right? Where you can like basically get the double move. I also like Eliminators that you can put them on cover and get like that 1-up save. The one thing to say, I guess, is I do not think a single unit of Eliminators works, because I tried it in a few games, right? Like just 1 squad of Eliminators. I think if you do Eliminators, I mean, maybe that works for a shooting chapter, but for Blood Angels, I feel like if you want to make Eliminators work, you need 2 squads, because, you know, I just didn't feel like... I got lucky in 1 game against Death Guard, right, where like Eliminators just killed a character 2 turns in a row, or something, but like it was definitely luck. I feel like I needed, to make Eliminators work, I think you need 2 squads. Maybe that's a little bit different with the Las Fusels, but since I bought the Las Fusel guys, I haven't actually ran them. Like I'd say they're like 3/4 of the way painted. I'm really bad for like getting models 3/4 of the way painted and then the meta shifts, and like I just move straight onto something else. So if you ever see me starting on a project like this, where like the Terminators are like got quite a bit of color on them, but they're obviously not fully painted or whatnot, it's because I've seen something or I've moved on. For painting general Blood Angels units, is priming with Mephiston Red Spray or Chaos Black better? Well, I mean, it all depends on your own preference, I guess, right? Like, so I prime all my red guys. I actually prime them with Corax White first, and then prime with then I give them a coat of Mephiston Red afterwards, and I think you maybe spelled it wrong. Like, it is where is it? Mephiston Red. So yeah, I actually prime them white and then go over the white with the red. But that's just because I guess that makes it them a little bit brighter. And then I don't do any edge highlighting on my battle ready troops. I just I do like a Agrax wash over most of the model. So like I get them quite bright, but then I like wash them down. Whereas some people would keep them with Mephiston Red, but then they would highlight with like Evil Sun Scarlet. So there's multiple ways you can paint Blood Angels, I guess. And I guess there's multiple ways you can undercoat them. When I'm doing golden models, I undercoat with Chaos Black, and then I do another coat with Retributor Armor. So it all just depends on what you want to do. I'm messing around with a list and need D3 weapons, so Laz, Fusel Eliminators, and a Chaplain chanting Exoration of Rage next to my Sanguinary Guard. Yeah, I mean, like, you do need damage 3 weapons these days. I did a video on Death Guard a few weeks back, and like basically like that's one of the main things I think you need if you want to beat Death Guard consistently. You need like 10 3 damage or above weapons in your list. And at the moment I do that with like plasma cannons on the dreadnoughts, and what else do I do that with? I have a bunch of infernal pistols, I guess. I have multi-melters on attack bikes. But yeah, I 100% agree that you need 3 damage weapons, otherwise you can get stalled down against Death Guard. Death Guard are just really nasty. Like, I think they're really strong right now. And I also think Mortarion is really, really strong as well. In some ways, Mortarion is a little bit like the Falchion I run, in that like in a battle you either have to just ignore him or go for him. And I'm excited to share the tournament, like I'm excited to share the video that I made, that I've been working on for next week, right? Because I've got, I think I've made like 28 slides, and I think I've dived into every secondary on every map. So it should be a pretty cool video, and it should help anyone that's struggling to get wins with Blood Angels right now, that runs the same sort of idea that I run, where it's like, you'd have a nice mix between shooting and melee, because I think we're really strong if you mix shooting and melee correctly. You ever seen that cherry red paint? There was a Blood Angels painted with it on Reddit, and it looked totally unique. I did see that Reddit post, Robert, but like I just thought it was a little bit too much for me. But I mean, there's, you know, I always say when people ask me questions about that, like I always say it's your army. If you want to paint it a certain way, you know, I painted my Blade Guard veterans gold. I don't think many people have painted their Blade Guard veterans gold, but like at the time I was just like, do you know what? These guys are supposed to be first company. I think they'll look good in gold. And do you know what? I think I actually saw on the Facebook group someone copied me and went for the same gold, so that was kind of cool. I was like, wow, someone thought that what I did was cool. Good evening, James. How you doing? Crashing Atom. I just want to make Death Company worth it. They're so cool, but the fluff is the opposite of the table. You can make Death Company work, Crashing. I think if you want to make them work, there's the way that I think they work best, and I've talked about this quite a lot with people in like Discord and yeah, just the Discord group that we have, really. Excuse me, I am burping something awful tonight, so if you hear that, it's just me being unhealthy, I guess. I actually had vegetables for dinner, like a vegetarian dinner. So maybe they were, you know, sometimes when vegetables are a little bit at their end of the life, they can have they can release a lot of gas. So maybe that's what's going on. But yeah, I think you can make Death Company work. But I think the way you make them work is you go for a 10-man. Maybe you can get away with an 8, but definitely not less than an 8. And you have either like 3 Thunder Hammers or 3 Power Fists and Infernal Pistols. Now, Power Fists and Infernal Pistols are the exact same cost as Thunder Hammers. Now, when someone first proposed that to me, I thought like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Thunderhammers is the best way to go for Death Company. But Death Company are usually going to survive at least one turn, right? Like, they'll usually crash into an enemy, they'll usually get some good kills, and they're going to survive in a turn. So let's say you have a 10-man Death Company, you lose 7 of them or something. So the 3 that are left are Infernal Pistols. Well, when it's your turn, you get to shoot 3 Infernal Pistols from point blank range. That's arguably as good as the Thunderhammers, if not better, right? You know, like 3 guys with Thunderhammers, how many attacks do they get? They get like 5 attacks, right? So the maximum damage they can do with the Thunderhammer is 15. So if you have a Power Fist and get 5 attacks, you can do 10. And the maximum you can do from the Infernal Pistol is 18. Or 8 plus the 10. So yeah, Infernal Pistols plus... Infernal Pistols plus Power Fists can do more damage than Thunderhammers. They can also be more swingy, but up close and personal, you know, like if there's a character that doesn't have an invulnerable save, if you have the option to just smash him in the face with an Infernal Pistol, -4, 2 plus d6 damage at half range, you can just vaporize a character from full health. And I've definitely done that, and I've done it to Colin's Death Guard, like to what's the guy that makes you fight last? The Foul Blight spawn. Like, I've shot the Foul Blight spawn at point blank range with an Infernal Pistol. He's only got a 3-up save. So basically, you hit him on a 2 or something, you wound him on a 3, and then he's dead. I suppose I think he's got 5 wounds. So as long as you roll a 3+, he's just dead from full health. So, and then once you've made this 10-man Death Company and you've armed them, like I said, 3 Thunderhammers or 3 Power Fists and Infernal Pistols, you deploy them super aggressive, and you got 2 options then. You're either going to Forlorn Fury them, get them up the board and make that turn 1 charge, or you're going to potentially Wings of Fire them and bring them back off the board and cause your opponent a headache that way, right? Like, I think there's a lot. I think the Death Company can work, but like I think like a 5-man Death Company for me just doesn't work anymore. I've tried it in a bunch of games. It wasn't very good. It never did what I needed it to do, really, and there was something else. Oh, and yeah, and like I now run Inceptors, and Inceptors are better than Death Company. For a 5-man one, they're better. And I did a video last week on Inceptors, like it was called like Tournament MVPs, and I talk about how they're better for us than Death Company now because they can perform actions, they can shoot, they don't have to make a charge, they don't need to be so exposed, and they're cheaper. They're 5 points cheaper as well if you just run the Bolter variant. They're very good against toughness 3 enemies too, like Dukari, like Admech, like Harlequins. They're even good against the new Orcs, right? Because their guns are strength 5. So have a think about that, I guess, is what I would say if you're interested in Death Company. Good evening, got a question. If you faced Admech, how might you tailor your list? Any particular units that are effective in that matchup? I mean, so I played Admech at the tournament. And I played Admech on the channel a little while ago. They're a tough one, right? Because they do get a lot, like their Cognis Las cannons, I guess, are very, very good. So if you have Dreadnoughts or you have ways of getting invulnerable saves, that's going to help you a lot, right? Because, like I said, the Cognis Las cannons are just very, very good. They also have a lot of weight of fire. So things with, like, you know, higher toughness is going to be good, and so maybe some Gravis units, and also like Storm Shields to give you like a really solid save. I played Admech twice. I lost once, I won once, so the magazine got scalped yesterday, did it? The number of certain things I own will never exceed the amount the Blood Angels have canonically. Well, I mean, I feel like I have no idea how many they own in the canon. but this is why, like, I don't get when people say, like, Blood Angels have to be all melee. If you do go to the canon, then, you know, Blood Angels have tanks and dreadnoughts and all sorts of things. So when people say, like, Blood Angels have to be all melee, I tend to disagree with it. I'm wondering if I'm going to paint these bone. Do you know what? I think on my Vanguard veterans I just painted them silver. That's what we'll probably do. What do you think about Scout Squads in Blood Angels? I mean, I think Scout Squads in 9th edition are pretty poor. I have like 15 scouts that I painted in 8th edition to make battalions and stuff with, right? To make battalions. Like, the way to get the most command points in 8th edition was to run like 2 battalions. So I had 15 scouts painted, so that maybe it's actually more than 15 because you would need more for 2 battalions. But I painted a lot of scouts so we could run 2 battalions and get maximum number of command points. But yeah, I think scouts are now pretty average / weak, and also them taking up elite slot is pretty horrendous. Like, I don't see what scouts bring to the table that, for example, eliminators don't do better, and also eliminators don't take up an elite slot. Like, their eliminators are heavy support, I think, right? But something could be said that Games Workshop are trying to push people to buy Primaris models. I mean, if you look at the battle reports on Warhammer Plus, right? Like, I quickly scanned through the battle report. I think it's this week's battle report, or maybe it was last week's. Like I said, I've been super busy moving house. I felt like I had no weekend this weekend because people said to me at work this week, they're like, "Are you all right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I just felt like I had no weekend because all I was doing the whole weekend was trying to put stuff in boxes. Because while my wife is very pregnant, she can't help me move, so I have to move everything myself. So like the whole weekend I was just packing boxes. Clothes, bedding, furniture, you name it, I've been packing it. So I fired up WarhammerTV.com, right, to just check out the battle report. Well, I didn't actually want to check out the battle report as much as I wanted to check out the armies, because I saw someone on Reddit say something like the armies that they had this week on the battle report, like Ultramarines versus Death Guard, they basically said that like it was shit. Like they didn't say the battle report themselves was shit, but they said the army lists were like not competitive at all, and like they want to see competitive battles on that battle report show, right? And I mean, in general, that's probably what you want to see. If you're watching a battle report, you don't want to just, when I started doing battle reports on this channel, and then maybe this is relevant. I was playing with my super heavy falchion tank, the one that I ran this week for the first time in about, I think it's the first time I ran it in 2021, right? Like, so it was last year that I was running the falchion, and I got on like a pretty big win spree in 9th edition with the falchion because people don't know how to fight against a tank that's got 26 wounds, toughness 8, 2+ save, and it's basically got 4 heavy laser destroyers on it, right? Because that's basically what it's armed with. But like one of the heavy laser destroyer, just for good measure, has like 120-inch range, right? It's ridiculous. So no one knows how to fight against it. So one of the comments I got on this channel early on was like, "Can you stop running the falchion because we actually want to see battle reports with like units that regular people have?" And yeah, you're right, Spiderwing, this battle report this time round was supposed to be narrative, right? But like, even if it's supposed to be narrative, they're just using units that are complete trash. For example, the Ultramarines list had 2 Hammerfall bunkers. Like there's no reason that they're in there except to try and sell Hammerfall bunkers. And let's be real, the rules for Hammerfall bunkers are terrible, so no one's gonna buy them anyway. So like, just don't put them in the battle reports would be my thought on that. Like they are a poor designed unit that don't really have a place, I think. I used to own 30 scouts for double battalion and 8th. Yeah, I had a ton, and then I used some intercessors, Daniel. The bunkers do look cool, and they've painted them really nicely. And I get that this week's battle report was supposed to be narrative, but like I'm just going by the comments that I saw on Reddit, and the comments I saw on Reddit were people saying like they wanted to see competitive battle reports because the lists they were using, like no one in their right mind is running 2 Hammerfall bunkers. I don't care if you're running a narrative game. Like I have like. On Monday night, I'm going to play up against Kev on my channel, and Kev is a huge lore guy. On my day job, we actually work on a Warhammer mobile app, right? And Kev is the guy, he's the go-to guy for when we need Warhammer lore. Like if I need a description for a unit, or if I need like a new event or something, Kev is the guy we go to. He knows all the lore, he reads all the White Dwarfs cover to cover, he reads all the codexes cover to cover. We used to make fun of him because he bought every new codex that came out. Like he didn't care about what armory it was, he'd just buy it because he wanted to read the codex, right? Oh yeah, they use 2 fire strike turrets as well. So 2 Hammerfall bunkers, 2 fire strike turrets, right? So Kev is a huge narrative guy. He plays competitively occasionally, like he has gone to tournaments. Thank you so much for subscribing, Dirty Splodge. But like Kev is a huge narrative guy, and I guarantee you, regardless of how narrative his list or how fluffy his list is, because that's the word Kev uses, he always talks about the lore and the fluff. Regardless how fluffy his list is, there is no way he's rocking up with 2 Hammerfall bunkers and 2 fire strike turrets. Like that would just not happen. He might have taken one of them for a laugh. I run complete crap when I feel it in narrative because it may have a story. Well, sure. And I'm not disagreeing with that at all, Reziel. Good evening, by the way. I'm just saying the comments that I saw on Reddit. And the comment I saw on Reddit was like, we're like a month into Warhammer Plus now. Maybe not quite a month, but like 3 or 4 weeks now, right? Because I think we're on episode 5 of Angels of Death, so I've only watched the first 2. Like I'm so far behind just because, you know, we've been doing the house stuff, but well, I wouldn't be that far behind if I wasn't away probably the whole weekend, last 2 weekends ago at the tournament. So you know, we started moving for 1 weekend, and then I went to the tournament for the whole weekend, and yeah, the comment on Reddit was just like they wanted to see good battle reports. I really wanted to reply and be like, hey, come watch my channel. I do competitive battle reports, or at least I try to do competitive battle reports. You know, like I'm trying to make the strongest Blood Angels list that I can. And it was fun to run the falchion this week, but like Reddit comments are not to be used as a metric. Yeah, okay, you're 100% right. I shouldn't be reading into what some random guy says on Reddit. But like, you know, like if someone says it on Reddit, then people are thinking it, right? I guess. But yeah, like as much as I enjoyed running the falchion this week, I don't want to be running the super heavy tank. I have another tournament in like 8 weeks time, and I want to refine the list that I had at this tournament because like I felt like it did really well. I felt like I learned a lot. Obviously playing Harlequins for the first time in 9th edition, learned quite a lot about them. My first 2 games against Dukari in 9th edition, won 1, lost 1. Felt like I learned quite a bit against Dukari as well, and also was really pleased to beat Admech, and also was really pleased to beat Thousand Suns, because I don't know if you guys have played Thousand Suns yet, but like my god, they do a lot of mortal wounds in the psychic phase now. Like Thousand Suns are genuinely just really nasty now, I guess is how I would describe Thousand Suns. Like just really nasty now. Everyone is a 3-star general on Reddit and Twitter. Yeah, sure. And I guess on my channel, I'm a 3-star general. So, someone said it was a siege, so 2 bunkers made sense in that situation. Okay. But yeah, I think the Blood Angels battle report the week before had one good Blood Angels unit. Like we had the Sanguine Guard, and everything else was Primaris, and Yeah, like if their battle reports are just going to be Primaris Marines because they want to sell Primaris Marines, or they want to push their agenda on Primaris Marines, I'm not going to watch the battle reports, to be honest, which is sad because I like the guy Nick. I think it's Nick Baton. Like, I follow him on Twitter. Did I have mortal wound protection against Thousand Suns? My revised list now does have my Tech Marine runs Soul Warden, but at the time, no, against the Thousand Suns list I didn't have mortal wound protection. I ended up using Armor of Contempt on one of my Dreadnoughts once he started like targeting it, which helped a lot, I think, because he put about, I think he would have put about 12 mortals into it, and I think Armor of Contempt brought it down to like 8. It brought it down to a point where I was able to use my flat 3 heal on the Dreadnought and still fire in full profile, I think. And that actually really helped me against that list, because on that list I think he had like 26 beasts in Nurgle, and they were just swarming everywhere all over the map. So but yeah, my new list, I've got Soul Warden on my Tech Marine, and I like it quite a lot, actually. The Tech Marine also, like, he's a Primaris Tech Marine, so he's got that 2-up save. I know he doesn't have an invulnerable save, but on the 2-up save, he's not bad. He can sort of, he can, what do you say when you fight a little bit? He can tango. What Blood Angels vehicles do I have painted? Can we see them? They're all in this cupboard behind me, and I think you can see there's a giant number of boxes on here. I actually wasn't going to paint these models tonight, but I didn't. I need to go to my storage locker. I will be going to my storage locker on Saturday, so during the day, and putting these boxes into storage. So if you tune in on Saturday night and ask me the same question again, I can show you vehicles on Saturday night, but like, I'm not even going to try and move that stuff right now. All my Dreadnoughts are in that cupboard as well behind me, so like I can't show you any Dreadnoughts either. Yeah, no, everything is. My significant other runs Thousand Suns. Their psychic phase is something to behold. Yeah, it's horrific now, isn't it? Like, I think I played against my friend who had like 9 psychers in Thousand Suns, and they have ways of resurrecting models now that is like really strong. And he had a squad of 10 Scarab Occult Terminators. And Scarab Occults are crazy now because they don't have to take morale at all, and they're OBSEC. So you just park like 10 Terminators in the middle of the map. They don't take morale, they're OBSEC, and there's something else that they've got as well. Oh, he can now use his powers to resurrect the Terminators as well. Yeah, I think going forward, Daniel, it is probably going to be a good idea to start thinking about having some sort of mortal wound protection somewhere in your army that can be like spread via an aura. I think it's going to help quite a lot. I was kind of on the fence taking it, and then I played a few games against Thousand Suns, and yeah, I think Soul Warden is a great warlord trait, right? Like, I think it's reliable and it's good. It's just finding the right character that fits your list. I mean, some people obviously play a Sanguinary Priest, like maybe Soul Warden can fit on the Sanguinary Priest. I dropped the Sanguinary Priest when they put him up to 155 points. I didn't think I got as much value out of them up at 155 points. Like, I used to run them all the time when he was like, was it 135? But I did a different list, and I think I had a list that I really liked before Chapter approved 2021, and then they put our units up in points cost, and yeah, for me that changed quite a few things, I guess. Does normal feel no pain work on mortal wounds? Yes, it does, Sam. Sorry, Acreal. Yes, of course it does. So if you have the Sanguinary Priest, you still get your 6-up shrug. Just 6-up isn't very reliable, right? And the problem I have with their battle reports is they don't really bring anything unique to the table in terms of quality of video. I mean, it's Games Workshop. I kind of expected something more. Yeah, I mean, maybe they'll find their feet, right? Like, they're just starting on battle reports, so I guess we'll find out. What I'd like them to do is I'd like them to invite YouTubers on to fight them. I would happily go on. I would love to fight that guy Nick's Blood Angels. Sorry, his Ultramarines with my Blood Angels, because Ultramarines are typically a really hard matchup for us, right? And I feel like if I took my tournament list, I'd just crush it. I'd love to do that. Absolutely love it. Ultramarines are like my nemesis. One of my best friends from school used to always play Ultramarines, so it was almost like it was always an army I needed to one up. Music's 20% too loud. Okay, no one else has said that, but sure, no problem. I'm running it in my tournament list on the Sangry Priest. Greetings, Peroxide. How you doing, man? We're not nerds. You're the nerd for being here. What's up? I started running Corbulo with 2 units of Bladeguard veterans. Am I doing the Crux Terminatus bone? Do you know what? I've done it bone on these guys, but I don't like it. I think I'm just gonna do it silver or gold, honestly. These guys are ancient though. Well, regardless, I'm putting down a coat of Dawnstone onto it, and then I'll decide. But I did those guys so long ago, I actually don't know what I washed the bone with to get that sort of gold color. It was probably one of the old GW paints before they changed all the names. Music is 20% too loud. Alright, thanks guys, I will turn it down. That would be a match. Yeah, it would be a match. Wearing Space Marine armor. Bringing YouTubers on would boost their credibility as well, would certainly bring more viewers in. Yeah, it would actually, if they brought on some of the best players. Like, it's fine, you know, like, I've been criticizing their lore or their narrative games. Like, you know, it's fine, you know, let them do lore and narrative games, that's 100% fine. People want to see that, sure, I'm sure some people want to see it. But, you know, like, they need to go for the other end as well. Like, get on people that are going to play like a really high skill competitive game, and like maybe even cut down the amount of editing, you know, because like it's a lot of editing. Like, I think see when we played the game the other night with the chess clocks on my channel, you know, like when it was like 5 minutes left in turn 4, people in the chat are like, holy shit, John, come on, 5 minutes, you know, like it was kind of exciting, maybe. We crushed Sisters when we had those chest clocks on, like really crushed them. But anyway, just a thought. What is the playlist, by the way? Nice synthwave vibe. All my music is royalty-free stuff, and it's made by another YouTuber called Harris Heller. And if you want to download any of the music that I'm listening to, you can just get it on streambeats.com. So SDREA Beats. So just streambeats.com. And most of the stuff I listen to is their synthwave playlists over there, but like they've got playlists for all sorts of music. So big shout out to Harris for making all this music and letting people use it for free. If you don't check his channel, you should, because he's an awesome guy. I might use Astaroth with Soul Warden. Is that Astaroth's trait? Is it Soul Warden? That's actually better. That's actually cool. I didn't realize Astaroth was Soul Warden. I should have actually checked. I guess the named characters have just been not in my repertoire recently, because I didn't think any of them were particularly good. Astaroth is pretty damn pricey at 150 points though, right? Like, it's mad that a Primaris chaplain on a bike with like more wounds and more toughness and more wounds and more toughness and like what, 1 less damage on his weapon is like 35 less points in Astaroth. What do you think about the 3D printing surge? I'm not really into 3D printing. I know some people that are, and they really, you know, they'll 3D print anything, I guess. I don't know. Anytime I've had a 3D printed model, it hasn't felt to be quite as good quality as the actual model, I guess. So based on that, and that's all that I know, I'm not really a fan of 3D printing, because... But yeah, I mean, it's just the quality, I guess, is the thing for me. Like, if the quality feels less, then I'm not really interested. I feel 3D printing is a little bit like recasting, right? You know, like people maybe go more stone than bone. I like the skull bone color. Yeah, maybe going more stone would be good. Don't expect the Warhammer Plus battle reps to ever be what the YouTube community wants. I actually prefer that. Leave the best out for us out here. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, the editing is nice. Hey James, good evening. The print quality is improving at an exponential rate. Yeah, the print quality is improving at an exponential rate. And if you've ever bought a recast, you'll know now that some of the recasts are as good as... sometimes when you buy a recast, they can literally be as good as the official models, because I've seen the official models like from Forge World side by side with recasts. Like both models are painted, and like they'll say like, you know, which one's the recast, and you can't tell. So I don't... People are very unhappy about recasting, right? Because recasting is basically stealing, right? You're stealing their intellectual property and you're copying it, right? So 3D printing, I guess, like if you're printing stuff just for yourself, it's fine, I think. But like if you're printing stuff and selling it, then and you're printing stuff that's selling it that's supposed to be basically the same model as Games Workshop, then technically it's not stealing, but it kind of is, right? It's like intellectual property theft or something. I don't know the logistics quite right, but like, for example, there's those other companies, right? There's that one company, I think. There's a company that make they've made like a Dante. I forget what company it's called, but like they've made their own version of Dante, right? And they sell him. I think he's called, like, is it Grim Skull or something like that? One of you guys in chat is gonna know, right? So like they've made their own model of Dante. Like they've made the 3D model, and I guess they've made the mold, and they produce it and they sell it, and they don't sell it. Like, he's not called Dante, he's called like Lord Imperium Commander or something, right? So they've had to change the name. But he's basically Dante, he looks the same, he's got the same weapons. But they've gone to the trouble of like having someone sculpt that from scratch. And the only reason they're selling it, I guess, is because Games Workshop haven't updated Dante in like 20 years, right? So like if they've gone to all the trouble to do that, then like I don't think that's stealing. I think that's like they've made their own model. They're, you know, but like if you're just copying or 3D printing, for example, like you can 3D print a rhino, I think, pretty easily, right? Like a rhino is a pretty simple kit probably at this point in time. Like, so if you just 3D print that rhino, if you try and sell it, then that is piracy essentially. But if you're just printing it for yourself, I guess that's okay. But like, I don't think 3D printing is particularly cheap, right? Like you have to buy a good printer and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm not like, if someone walked up with an army that has 3D printed models in it, I'm not going to be like, yeah, I'm not going to play you because you 3D printed those models. but at the same time, like, I feel like I do dislike how expensive some of the Warhammer stuff is, right? Like, some of it is very, very expensive for what you get. You know, like, the Primaris Chaplain on a bike being like, I think he just came out recently, right? And he's like, maybe like $35 for a single character. That seems like they're pushing it a bit too far in terms of cost. And like, I guess if their costs were a bit lower, people might not 3D print stuff because they just go and buy it. So, but like, I don't know. It's really hard to say, I guess. Am I going to 3D print stuff? No. I will just buy it, I guess, when I need it. I'm even painting these old metal Terminators right now, and God, if you've never painted metal, let me tell you, it sucks. The paint doesn't adhere to it like it does to plastic, and yeah, I guess like when these things were all metal back in the day, it generally sucked. Excuse me. But he has a bike. Yes, he has a bike. A space vampire lord or something. Yeah, like if they've made a space vampire lord and you can use him because he looks a lot like Astaroth and like his complete unique model that they've made and they've spent time doing it, and they're not, although they are sort of selling him as a GW figure, they're not stealing any trademarks or anything like that. I have no problem with those third-party companies. Like, I actually kind of like them, but I think those third-party companies wouldn't exist, for example, if Games Workshop just did better. And the reason I say that is because Storm Shields, for example, right? I needed, like, I don't know if I just had a ton of Vanguard vets lying around from old times or what, or if it was Spare Death Company, but I was building 20 Vanguard veterans, and I just didn't have the Storm Shields that I needed. I maybe misplaced some, I maybe traded some, whatever the reason was. I needed to find like 20 Storm Shields, for example, and I went on eBay to just buy 20 Storm Shields. And basically on eBay it costs about £5 for one Storm Shield. Like it costs yeah, on eBay you can easily be like £5 for one Storm Shield, like $2.99 for a Storm Shield, and then like $2.99 postage or £1.99 postage. So like, if I need 20, I'm not going to spend £100 to get 20 Storm Shields. That's literally ridiculous. And in US dollar terms, that's like $138 to get Storm Shields for one squad of guys. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to spend that. So I went and like looked up a third-party company that had made something that looked a little bit like Storm Shields, or something that I thought would pass as Storm Shields, and I went and bought like 20 of them for, let's say, like 20 quid, like £1 each or something. And it's like, that sort of thing I guess I don't have a problem with, but they've obviously made a unique looking Storm Shield to sell as a Storm Shield or something. And yeah, I don't have a problem with 3D printing either, but like, I guess it is stealing if you're going to 3D print stuff and sell it or give it to your friends, sort of. It's a very messy area, but yeah, I guess you're just not going to find me doing 3D printing. These old bolt guns are mad when they were made of metal. They're almost like the ammo clips are offset. It's kind of weird. You know, like on a new Storm Bolter, the ammo is just one. And these old metal ones, it's like a double ammo. I don't know what they were thinking. Hi John, didn't know you were going to stream today. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Well, I used to stream every Thursday. I haven't been streaming on Thursday because I haven't had the time. I probably don't really have, like, I'm packing for moving house, and work's been crazy busy and everything, so I managed to get time tonight, but like I think I said on Saturday night, like, I miss streaming on a Thursday because I used to be streaming twice a week. Just some weeks, like, it's very difficult for me to find the time to make a video and stream as well on the Thursday night, right? Like, it's like sometimes just something's got to give. But this week I actually have a video already ready for tomorrow, and I already have my slides all ready for next week's video, so hopefully I can get it done before next Thursday, which means maybe we'll stream next Thursday as well. Or maybe we can do a little bit more streaming just for a few weeks before, and then I'll have to move house and everything will go to shit for a few weeks. But do you think high quality 3D prints should be allowed in tournaments? I mean, if they look close enough that they're the same size as the real model, then I guess that's okay, right? But I mean, I'm not gonna be doing 3D printing, or I'm not gonna be 3D printing models. I mean, I might 3D print an arm or something if I need an arm for, or like I might buy a third party, like I said, like a storm shield. But like, if Games Workshop, just so, like, you can buy jump packs right off Games Workshop, like Warhammer.com, they do sell jump packs. So they should sell other bits like thunder hammers and power fists, and, you know, like, if they sold these things, then they probably wouldn't have the same problem. Like, because let's say you're making a squad of Death Company. I think in a box of Death Company you probably get 2 thunder hammers, right? So like, every time I'm on here, I'm saying to people, oh, if you do a Death Company, you need 3 thunder hammers. So someone will have gone and buying a box of Death Company and been like, shit, I only get 2 thunder hammers. John said the Death Company are crap unless I have 3 thunder hammers. So what are they going to do? They're either going to have to go on eBay and spend over the, like, I don't even know, £5-6 to get a single thunder hammer, or they have to spend £30 and buy another entire box of models to get that one thunder hammer. I mean, yeah, maybe you're lucky, maybe you have a friend that can trade, or maybe you go to a tournament and someone's got one and you can get a trade. But if you're new to the hobby or you don't have that many friends or whatever, it's just a shitty situation to have, I guess. Like, I wish that they would fix that, because if they fix that, you know, like, these third-party companies have appeared because Games Workshop do a bad job of it, right? Like, if they'd done a good job of, like, hey, you just need a thunder hammer, sure, come onto the website and we'll sell you a thunder hammer for like $1.99 or something, and, you know, same deal. Like, if you spend £40, you get free postage or something, you know. So if you buy another box of stuff at the same time as you want this thunder hammer, we'll ship it to you free. Then, like, these other companies that they're worried about or they're moaning about now wouldn't exist, because people would have just got it. It's all about ease of use, surely, I would have thought. But I mean, I'm just speaking, I don't know, you know, like, I don't have any facts, so I don't know. I'm just speaking how I would have, this is how I see it, I guess. You only get 1 thunder hammer per box? Well, there's your answer. So you could buy 2 boxes of Death Company, but you don't get enough thunder hammers to make a squad with 3 thunder hammers. They should sell the Blood Angels transfers. You're 100% right, Spiderwing. They should sell the Blood Angels transfers. And speaking of that, I needed more Blood Angels transfers. Guess what I did? I bought them on eBay. And people are charging a lot for Blood Angels transfers on eBay. I think it was about $12.99 for like 1 transfer sheet or something. Like, those transfer sheets probably cost Games Workshop under £1 to make. So they could probably sell them for like $7.99 and be making a killing. But instead, for whatever reason, they're not selling them. And no one wants to buy another whole box to get transfers, right? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Forge World should be more focused on weaponry and accessory upgrades and thematic upgrades, not on additional units. But I mean, I guess Forge World do support a whole other game, right, in like 30k. So I guess that makes sense, Highland. But yeah, I mean, It doesn't necessarily need to be Forge World. They just need to have somewhere. You remember back in the day, like if we go back 20 years, in the back of the catalogue, or in the back of every White Dwarf, it used to show you like the breakdown of all the little bits, and you could order everything, you know? You could order like a Space Marine biker or something on his own without the bike, because you've lost the biker, you know? You could order every individual bit. Arms, legs, everything. The Legion transfers are 30k, they need 40k transfers, they do. I bought those 30k transfers and they are pretty nice though. Well, here's the thing, James. They sell jump packs, right? And they sell like, it's random. You go onto their website, they sell like jump packs and plasma weapons or something, which is really. I mean, the jump packs make sense that they sell sprues of jump packs for Death Company, but the plasma weapons, I don't really know why they sell. Like, there's a small box you can buy that just has like some plasma weaponry in it, which is a bit weird, but nonetheless, you can, if you want some plasmas, you can buy them. Thanks for hanging out, Joel. It's nice to see you. Jedi says, yeah, they used to have the full mail order where you could get anything. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And you know, I guess it would get rid of all these companies. Like, it's a bit shit for the companies that have spent all their time and effort making like third-party Games Workshop stuff. But like, if Games Workshop's really worried about them, or they, you know, they don't want people using them, then they should make it easier for people to get what they need, I think. Because I know right now it's not easy to get what you need. Like, I am not going to pay £100 to get Storm Shields. Like, I'm just not. Like, as much as I love the hobby, £100 to get Storm Shields is ridiculous. And that's just one squad, you know, like if I go and get another squad of a different guys, do I need a different weapon or something? Like you guys said, you can't even make the recommended Death Company, or the Death Company that like all the professional players would recommend. You can't make that with the sprues you get in the Death Company box. You know, like what use is that? Especially for new players. Like I said, this hurts new players. I mean, it hurts us old guys as well, but it hurts new players just as bad, because it's like, hey, I'm a new player. I'd like to, you know, every week someone's new, and every week someone's asking, like, hey, I'm struggling to play as Blood Angels this week. Like, what should I do? You know, and if I say to them, like, oh, well, you're Death Company, you should be running 3 Thunderhammers, but they'll be like, but there wasn't 3 in the box. I'm like, yeah, great. You know, like, what am I supposed to say to them? Go spend another $100 on more boxes just to get, like, 1 more Thunderhammer. It's ridiculous. You forgot melter rifles. Is that what it is? Melter rifles. They sell a sprue of melter rifles. Like, why? Why? 50 or 60 bucks for 5 heavy intercessors is crazy. Has anyone here actually ran heavy intercessors? Because I ran them one time. I actually proxied probably some of these Terminators for them, because at the time I didn't have any of the models. I have the models now, but I haven't really been motivated to get them done. Like, they haven't been high on my priority list because I just don't know if they're that useful, I guess. Paint the chain fist black and the housing. Is that what we should be doing? We should be painting the chain fists black. We could do that. I was kind of thinking of painting these bolt guns yellow, but like I'm not. I wanted to do yellow without it looking like cheesy. I started painting this bit, right? Like this bit of this bolt gun is black, and I was thinking I was thinking I wish I hadn't painted that black, and I maybe paint that bit yellow, and paint this bit that sticks out the back black. I just don't know how many coats of yellow I'm gonna have to go over this black with. Do you know what? We'll do it though. Let me get some yellow paint. Yeah, let's look at the time. Yellow paint. If this is gonna take me like 15 million coats, then you're in trouble, Reziel. Or who was it that said? Yeah, it was you, Reziel. Well, I mean, I guess you get a little bit of let off because you made me run bolter and scepters, and I friggin' love bolter and scepters now. A lot of Blood Angels Terminators have black fists. Sure, let's do it. Let me, do you know what? I'm just gonna slap some yellow over this black and see how many coats it's gonna take. I'm scared though. It's gonna be so many coats. To break up, I always break up all my red afterwards. I always get base coats done first. So I'm a long way from finishing these guys. I would say that like base coats are like 30% of my paint process. So I try and get base coats on the whole model, and then I kind of probably go with like second coats on everything, and then take it from there. Let's see. This is really the only yellow I got. I think I maybe have like a brighter goblin-y one, but I think it's going to be too bright. So yeah. Do you know what? It might not be that many coats to get it yellow. I say might. But I was thinking actually when I painted these guys, like after I finished them, someone said to me, they were like, are you gonna paint your Terminator guns yellow? And I was like, oh man, that's what they used to be in 2nd edition, wasn't it? Shit, I should have done them yellow. I was putting it off, so you've persuaded me to do it. So I'm just gonna do that whole side and then we'll clean it up after. It's gonna take a few coats to get a solid yellow over the black, but do you know what? Maybe not as much. Maybe 3 coats. Averland is the boy, it'll cover it. Okay. Yeah, so I'll paint the front part of the gun yellow like this, and then I'll paint the back part black, and then I'll keep the parts that are grey already. Yeah, do you know what? You're right. I think it'll take 2 or 3 coats, but it won't be too bad. I wish I hadn't painted them black. I'm so stupid. Like I said, I haven't done Terminators in forever. I've been wanting to do them, but like... Probably gonna go into these ridges here with like grey or something afterwards, metal. Alright, we'll leave this one and just get yellow on the next one. Hopefully this will break them up quite nicely. Momentum's Hobby Yellow is better than any I've tried. Amazing coverage even over black. Fair enough. There's always seems like there's always a better option for paint than the Citadel stuff. I just know, I just use what I know, I guess. I did check on my wet palette order the other day after you guys were all asking on Saturday night. You were like, when are you getting a wet palette? And I was like, soonish. And they said that like they're in production now of this new wet palette. So I guess when production is finished, I will finally have a wet palette. But no, I'm not even sure. I want to run these Terminators a few more times. I want to keep the core of my list identical to what it was at this tournament, and I just want to change the units that I had on that one flank. And the units that were on that flank was the Primaris Chaplain on a bike and 6 Vanguard Veterans. And I didn't dislike it. I just want to try a few more things. If I don't find anything, we may just go back to what we know, though, and just run it a tournament as is. I felt like the Primaris Chaplain on a bike generally survived quite well because I had him with Iron Resolve. So he had 8 wounds and a 6-up shrug, which I guess on 8 wounds kind of just means he's got 9 wounds basically, because you're likely to shrug at least 1 when you have to roll for all 8, right? So kind of just like a 9 wound Primaris Chaplain on a bike who can have a 3 damage weapon and like an extra attack, so 5 attacks, basically 5 attacks with a Thunderhammer, right? But he's hitting on 2s, and you can also give all the Vanguard vets full rerolls, which is quite nice. Lightning Claws with full rerolls to hit and wound, then it means. Lamenter's yellow. Lamenter's is a glaze, right? Momentum paints are $4 US. Okay. I've never heard of momentum paints before, actually. You learn something new every day. Yeah, I'll take a few coats to get this yellow nice, but do you know what? I think it'll be worth it. Do you know what? This guy doesn't have any black, so this will be 1 less coat, so that'll be nice, hopefully. That looks much nicer just when there's no black underneath it. Oh really? They discontinued Lamenters? I hope Valrak ordered like 50 pots of it then, because I think he uses Lamenter's glaze, doesn't he? For his Imperial Fists? I'm sure I've seen on Twitter that he likes that paint, Lamenter's glaze. Oh, but yeah, so anyone here going to be watching the London Grand Tournament this week, or is anyone actually going to it? I think Andrew said it was 300 people that they got entered for the London Grand Tournament. He bought an entire store supply, did he? I don't know if he did, maybe. If it was being discontinued, it would probably be a good idea, especially if you've done your whole army so far with it. I do like painting yellow. So, black on the chain fist. This whole armor panel is black, or this whole armor panel here would be yellow maybe, with black stripes. Finished my 2 ball predators today, just sadly for display. I don't know, I mean, I think you could make a ball predator work in a semi-competitive game. Maybe you need a little bit of luck, but like, they're okay, right? Like, they're not the worst thing ever. They're a bit overcosted. But I mean, like, I feel like you can almost, like, if you have a good army list, you can usually almost make any unit work, right? Like, I made Centurions work. And, like, Centurions are definitely not a highly competitive unit. I got a few teammates attending the LGT. Where are you from, Daniel, by the way? Paint the blade housing yellow, then paint the fist itself black and add the black stripes on the blade housing if you want stripes. I did like the stripes that I did on my assault intercessors. Like, I liked them a lot. Took me ages, but like, I liked them a lot. So when you say the blade housing, you mean like from here to the end, right? Just this bit here, yellow, and then this bit here black. And then when the black hits the yellow, then do your stripes, right? I love the idea. Good evening, bonus day. Oh, Northampton. Okay, you're pretty close to Warhammer World then, right? I love the idea that's buzzing of relic terminators. I really do. I just don't own any, and I honestly have 50 terminators that are all unpainted because I have, yes, I have 3 squads. So I have like 8 Terminators in front of me with Stormbolters here, but I have at least 3 full squads of Terminators with Stormbolters, maybe 4. I know that I've got 2 full metal squads, plus a whole plastic squad, plus a couple of those, what were those Terminators that came, you know, like the Series 1, the Series Terminator. I just put yellow paint on my damn chair. These guys, what are these guys called? Space Marine Heroes, that's the one. So I had, I bought a bunch of these Space Marine Heroes. I think I actually gave some of them away on the channel a while back. We haven't done a giveaway in a little while, but I think we gave away some at like 3,000 subscribers. I will definitely get another giveaway at some point soonish, actually. I guess it's just slipped my mind. But yeah, we'll do another channel giveaway. That's a good idea, actually, because we're pushing up towards like 7,500. It's my birthday next week, so I'm hoping to get 7,500 before my birthday. That would be a nice birthday present. But yeah, we could, maybe we'll try and get another giveaway, like, because we're coming up to 8,000, I guess. That'd be a cool milestone. But anyway, I have 3 squads of these plus a bunch of Space Marine Heroes. So that probably gives me 20 Terminators with Stormbolters, give or take, right? And I stripped, like, some of these guys, you'll notice that they're like old and painted and chipped. I basically painted, some of them were like half painted from when I was a kid. I just painted red over the top of them. So like this guy, for example, you can see here, there's not that much detail in this. So this guy would have had like a shitty paint job when I was a kid. So I just painted over the top of them and basically decided to start again. And most of my paint jobs when I was a kid were really shitty, to be honest. But like there was no YouTube to watch or anything like that, right? You just picked up the model and you just started painting, and if it was shitty, then it was shitty. No one, you know, that was it, I guess. So yeah, I painted over a lot of my shitty paint jobs, but anyway, I still have a couple of tanks that are painted really badly from when I was a kid, and I just didn't get round to painting over them yet. I never had access to Space Marine Series 2, never made it to my area. I think I bought them. I think I bought all mine on eBay, honestly. I like the Relic Terminators a lot, especially with the Lightning Claws. Like, I really do. I don't know if the Teleport Homer is a deal breaker for me, right? Like, the Teleport Homer is kind of nice, but like, is it a deal breaker? Probably not. Like, if I owned Relic Terminators, would I make them because they got Lightning Claws? And the thing I really like about the Relic Terminators with Lightning Claws is they're like the cheapest Terminators, right? I think they're like 33 points per model, so you're basically 5 points cheaper. And you're still in a pretty good position because Lightning Claws are a great Lightning Claws are a great weapon right now. They're very cost effective, and they generally do a lot of wounds and stuff. So yeah, but like, so I've got like 20 of these guys. I have 2 or 3 squads of Blood Angels Terminators, Assault Terminators, and again, they all got repainted. So there's probably, let's say there's 8 with Thunderhammers and like 7 with double Lightning Claws, so that puts me up at 35 Terminators. And then I also have, I've got old Rogue Trader Terminators with Lightning Claws and Storm Shields, like the very first, first edition, like Rogue Trader, first edition Terminators. And I had like half a squad when I was a kid. I don't actually know, like, I must have traded them with people because I never bought a box when I wasn't playing it when it was Rogue Trader, but like when I was a kid I bought a box and I traded for some Terminators. And then, what was the other thing I was going to say? So I traded for some of these Rogue Trader Terminators. Yeah, when I got back into the hobby a few years ago, I decided to like make those Rogue Traders into like 2 squads. So I have 10 of those really old metal ones as well. So that's literally 45 Terminators, and none of them are painted well. So yeah, if in a world where they were all painted, I would probably buy some Relic Terminators and do Lightning Claws on them, because I think it's a pretty interesting option. Just because the points cost is really nice. But yeah, I'm trying to get through all the stuff I have before I go on another spending spree. And I have a lot of stuff, but yeah, I really want the Land Raider Proteus. I may end up buying Land Raider Proteus, and the main reason that I want a Proteus is because it can deliver my Centurions really effectively to the battlefield. Yeah, I know that relics can't take shields, but I mean, I think the whole point, if you're going to take relic Terminators, I think you would take a few with Chain Fists, and I think you would take a few with Lightning Claws. And I think that gives you a really diverse squad with a good number of attacks, and able to like chew through a very good, like a good number of enemy unit configurations and stuff. I think that would be pretty cool. And yeah, I do like relics. If I was going to buy a box of them, I'd probably go for the Tartarus armor. Or, you know, Highland Phoenix, you're a big conversion guy. I'm surprised you haven't converted Crimson Paladins or something. Lightning Claws and Storm Shields, or Lightning Claws. I would do Lightning Claw and Storm Bolter on the Relic squad, honestly. I think that's how you would use Relic. Like, if you want to do close combat Terminators, then just do close combat. Like, yeah, I mean, if you want to do close combat, I guess you should embrace the close combat options, I think. The old computer game Space Hulk, Blood Angels, Terminators, the whole fist cowling is black and yellow striped. The fingers are red or black in some cases. Okay. Well, yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll paint this fist bit black, and then I'll do... Or maybe, yeah, maybe I should paint the whole thing yellow, and then do the black stripes over it. See my Reddit post on the BA Reddit. What was your Reddit post? Oh, you actually did the Crimsons. Never sign up for a GW NDA, forgive me if you've not already been warned. I heard a little bit about the NDA stuff at the beginning of the squad. Sorry. I'm mixing all my words up tonight. Like I said, it's been a long few weeks. I've been kind of exhausted from moving, and I had the cold a few weeks back as well. So I had the cold, then I had the tournament. So yeah, it's... I've heard a few things about the NDA, that they're making you can't say anything negative about them anymore or something if you have an NDA, I guess. I mean, I don't know if they would ever be interested in my channel anyway, guys, because like we only do Blood Angels, right? So I don't know if, like, if they send me a box of, let's say, Stormcast or something, what am I going to do with it except maybe like I'm going to do an unboxing video on like Stormcast? Like, does anyone care if I do that? Probably not, because if they want to watch, you know, if people want to watch an unboxing video of, let's say, like a Stormcast box, I don't know if you know Goobertown Hobbies, but like he's the guy that seems like a nice guy. I've never met him, but he's got a channel where he does a lot of like, I guess, I don't know if I would call them speed paints as much as his endurance paints, right? Like he would open that box and paint the whole box in 24 hours, for example. And then he does cool stuff, like he gives it away. He typically will like then give those models away like to charities or raise money for charity, right? So like if people are gonna choose who to watch, I guess, me or him unboxing some Stormcast, his video is going to be way better than mine. So like I don't know if I'll ever even be in the position to sign an NDA with Games Workshop, because like they probably just won't care about my channel, to be honest. But regardless, I mean, we changed the name of the channel from Blood Angels Commander to BA Commander. We changed my logo to make sure it doesn't look too much like a Space Marine, and we got rid of like the little Blood Angels iconography in it. We changed the channel banner, so hopefully we're not infringing on any copyright or making anybody mad, I guess. So that's where we are, I guess. I did order the Cataphractic upgrade sprue from Forge World, which has 2 lightning claws in it, and eBayed 2 more Paladin left shoulder pads and magnetized arms. I suppose if they did send us a Stormcast box, we could convert it into Blood Angels. Yes, I suppose that would be cool. Maybe people would watch that. Good evening, Lord Lysergic. How are you? But yeah, I have that interview coming out that people have been asking for a while about. People wanted to know, or people wanted to hear about Jack Harper's. I keep saying his name wrong. Sorry. It's Jack Harpster. And Jack finished 3rd at the Orlando Grand Tournament, so we got that coming tomorrow. We'll break down his list, and I think I spent like 45 minutes with Jack, and we talk about everything from primaries to secondaries, and it was a pretty fun chat. We disagree, I guess, on how Blood Angels should be played right now, but I mean, I guess he proves that you can play Blood Angels to a very high level by going full melee still. But I think the terrain helped him a lot at that tournament, honestly. The GW terrain for the US Open Series is pretty obscuring, right? There's like on one of the maps, there's literally no firing arcs from one side of the map to the other. It's kind of crazy. It's just obscuring terrain everywhere. Good for a melee army like Blood Angels, right? I'm painting my Vanguard vets right now. No agreed win with GW is worth being made into a yes man for them. Yeah, well, that's interesting, I suppose, Rizio. So do you think some of the other creators that are creating content right now for Games Workshop will change, or what? Because if you were a big channel and one of your main things was like you create videos when Games Workshop sends you new stuff, you know, it can be difficult to pivot on your channel, I guess. Like, you're going to change the whole channel to not do that anymore? I'm just asking. I don't know the answer. Old Reddit post was called "Update to my Capifracti Terminators using Crimson Panel and bits, getting ready for 9th. All arms weapon magnetized." I might have seen that post. I do check Reddit. It just maybe is your Reddit username Highland Phoenix? Because that's ringing a bell now that you mention it. But maybe you just told me about it before. Do you know what? The more I think about it, the more I feel like I've seen them, Highland. My brain is... I'm getting old. I'm 38 next year. 38 next week. Like I said, I can't even speak tonight, apparently. Getting all tongue-tied and stuff. It's been a long week at work, I guess. And then moving has just got me exhausted. Alright, we really are embracing this yellow scheme. It's definitely going to need a few coats of yellow though. But I'd reckon maybe 3 coats of yellow will be okay. That's not as bad as I thought it might be. I thought over that black it was going to be like 4 or 5 coats. But the second coat is kind of rounding out kind of nicely. I'm painting beer cans for a fuel depot. I want to have a ton of terrain for my home table. That's a very cool idea, actually. Everybody's got spare beer cans that could become Warhammer terrain. That would be a good YouTube video, Mark. Can I steal that idea from you? You're gonna have to send me a picture of your you need to send me a picture of the beer cans that you're painting, and then I will do a video on how to make your own terrain using beer cans. I love that idea. That's something that I always have, is empty beer cans, you know, like, so I can definitely make that work. That's a sacrifice I can make work. John, you're still young. I'm 50. Okay. I've got 30 tactical Terminators for my Crimson Fist. Also have 10 relic Terminators, but I need some assault Terminators. Yeah. I really want to paint all 50 Terminators that I have. I think I'm going to paint like 20 or 30 of them and then move on to something else, and I might come back and get the other ones a little bit later, but yeah, I have a lot of Terminators. And I've been wanting to do them for like a year, honestly, but I guess like when you're going to a tournament and you're fixated on getting everything ready for that tournament list. And I spent a lot of time painting models that actually didn't make it into the tournament list, because I painted Eradicators, 6 of them didn't make it into the tournament list, Centurions, 3 of them didn't make it into the tournament list, a Judiciar, Dante. There was definitely more. 10 Assault Intercessors didn't make it into this tournament list. I think I've painted 16 Vanguard Vets and ended up only using 6 of them in the tournament list. So yeah, when you're going to a tournament, you can end up painting a lot that basically ends up not going anywhere, I guess. No, I think these yellow guns are going to be pretty cool, actually. I'm glad I listened to you guys. If you're signing a deal that controls what you can say about their stuff, then at that point you might as well be on their channel. In that case, you should be getting put on payroll as an employee. Yeah, I mean, I get that, like, it's basically free advertising for them, but the people are getting free stuff. I guess that's the price you pay for free stuff, right? I guess you have to put a value on. I guess if you're in a situation and you had to sign that NDA, I guess you have to put a value on how much is that free stuff worth to you. Yeah, 38 next Thursday, actually, Brent. So I'll PM you with the process. Yeah, PM me. Send it to me in Discord and send me some photos as well. I'd love to see. That sounds like a fun video we could make. If you had to pick between two, would you take a captain on a bike with Hammer of Baal, Infernal Pistol, and Imperium Sword, or a chaplain on a bike with Benediction of Fury and the Wiserator? Why no Gift of Foresight, Not So Average Joe? Like, you got that on another character or what? I take it you're looking for a Smash character. See, I ran the chaplain. I ran the chaplain on a bike with Benediction of Fury and Mantra of Strength for a little while, and I kind of liked it, but I changed my mind because I run them with Vanguard Veterans to shred infantry. So I ran. That was pretty much, you know, that was part of my tournament list. I ran 6 Vanguard Veterans, 5 with Lightning Claws, 1 with a Thunderhammer, all with Storm Shields. I ran them with a Chaplain on a bike, and the Chaplain on a bike had Mantra of Strength and obviously the Litany of Hate, so we could get the full rerolls. And originally, I believe I had that. I had that Chaplain running Benediction of Fury, and I dropped it because the Chaplain only gets like 5 attacks, right? Benediction of Fury only causes mortals on a 6. So like, it felt like even though I ran it like for 4 or 5 games, like the most I ever caused was 1 mortal wound, right? So you're paying 1 CP to do 1 mortal wound. And at that point, like, might you be better taking like Hammer of Wrath? Because on 1 CP with Hammer of Wrath, you're probably going to be able to cause more than 1 mortal wound, right? And then I think the other thing to say about both those characters is, like, they do die fairly easily. You only need to hit them with -1 AP to put them onto their 4-up save, because they're just regularly on a 3-up save. So if the enemy hits them with anything, like, think of all the guns that are -1 AP. So you don't even have to be hit with a lot, and you're already on a 4-up save. And like, 4-up saves aren't really reliable, are they? Like, if you have to make 10 4-up saves, you're going to fail 5 of them. Take 5 wounds, you know? So that's why I ended up dropping the Benediction of Fury, because quite often the Chaplain was getting killed. And I felt like the Chaplain wasn't surviving. So if he's not surviving, you know, that's wasted command points. I'm paying command points for a relic on a dead character. And then in my tournament, I ended up losing, I think, the whole squad of Vanguard Veterans to like a Succubus. Or maybe it was an Archon, I don't remember. A Dark Eldar character, I think it might have been a Succubus. She was able to fight my Vanguard Veterans. Like, I charged her? No, she was in a raider. That's what it was. So I killed everything that was outside. She came out the raider. She was able to fight me, and then like the next turn, she was actually able to like disengage and move out of combat or something. But anyway, I ended up changing the relic, or changing the warlord trait on my chaplain on a bike to give him Iron Resolve, and in one of the games it actually really saved his life because he would have been dead because he was left on 1 wound. So Iron Resolve obviously gives you that extra wound and the 6+ shrug. So in one of my games where he should have been dead, he hung on for like 2 or 3 more turns and ended up scoring me points because the witches that were in, it was like a 9-man squad of witches that he was in combat with, and it ended up with the witches actually falling back from him. Just because the last 3 of them were really struggling against him, and he was just killing witches every turn. Witches are only 1 wound, so the bonus from like again, Benediction of Fury wouldn't have helped me at all, I guess. So having him survive was better. But if I had to pick someone with Hammer of Baal, Chapter Master, 1 less wound, Imperium Sword so you can reroll charges. Captain with a Hammer of Baal. I think I prefer the Captain, and I think the main reason I prefer the Captain is that Infernal Pistol. Because Infernal Pistol, while unreliable, can just dish out like 8 damage. You are going to be in close because you've got that 14-inch move in the bike. So when you're in close, you can get that lucky shot with Infernal Pistol. That's why I like Gift of Foresight though, right? Because Gift of Foresight sort of removes the need to make that lucky shot, because if you have Gift of Foresight, your captain's hitting with his pistol in 2s, you get 1 free reroll, right? So even if you fail your hit roll, you kind of reroll it and you make a pass. And then your Infernal Pistol is what, strength 8? So you hit, or you're going to wound likely on like 3s, worst case you're going to wound on a 4, but then you can re-roll it again, so you're likely going to wound again. So I like my Chapter Master with the Infernal Pistol a lot because I think it gives a lot of value. But I think if I had to pick those 2 options there, I'd pick the Captain. And that's not to say I don't like the Chaplain, I do. I think there's better ways to run the Chaplain. I mean, I tried it a few times. Combi Melta? Yeah, I mean, you could run a Combi Melta on the Captain. Give yourself a little bit more range. It doesn't even need to be a Combi Melta, does it? Because the gun, it could just be a Melta gun. I don't know if there's any points difference actually between the 2. But yeah, a Melta gun on the Captain works just as well, if not better, than the Infernal Pistol. The only advantage to the Infernal Pistol is you can shoot it in combat. So if you end up in combat with something nasty, like I've been in combat with something like, like a Death Guard Terminators or Blight Lord Terminators, whatever they're called, just being able to shoot the Infernal Pistol into them in close combat can be pretty valuable. It can also be fun, just when you vaporize like a Death Guard Terminator with a little 5-point pistol. But yeah, no, it's getting on pretty late tonight, guys. Obviously, like I said, I'm pretty tired, and it's a work week. It's a work week, yeah. I can't even speak tonight. It's a work day tomorrow, so I'm going to stream for like 10 more minutes and call it a night, I think. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed tonight. I like the range much better than the ability to shoot in combat. Yeah, I mean, it's not often though, right? Because your bike captain moves 14 inches. So with Infernal Pistol, he basically has a 20-inch threat range. And like, I've been really trying to work on my consolidations and my pile-ins. And I guess like I made that video 2 weeks ago now, I guess, about consolidation and pile-ins. And like in the tournament game I played, like I think I went through every single combat, and I always made sure to do my consolidations and pile-ins to get the maximum amount of movement that I can get wherever it's possible to get movement. Like I'll go and get it basically. So typically it's not often. I mean, maybe late game when the map's spread out a bit, and like Yeah, okay, I guess late game you're probably 100% right. The melt gun's going to provide more value, but like in the mid game where everything's all bunched up and you're competing over everything, I guess I feel like you get quite a good value out of that infernal pistol. But yeah, combi melt is not bad either, or combi gun on the captain is not bad either. I tend to take a relic to give him a 2-up save, so I don't need the storm shield. Storm shield's quite expensive as well, it's like 10 points. So I usually go for like a defensive relic. Cool, alright, one more bolter to paint and we'll call it a night. I like the pistols as when you're stuck against a tough enemy or keep consolidating into units, you can always shoot them in the face in another phase. Charge ranges matter. I'd rather stop 6 inches out and fire the rifle. I play a lot of Farsight, and if you get closer than 6 then they punish you horribly. Okay, it's a good point, I guess. But yeah, I mean, that's why I wish that, like, I was going to say, I wish that Dante was as strong as the chapter master on the bike, because I love pushing that guy in, like, super aggressively, knowing how tanky he can be with Armor Indomitus and, like, his extra wounds and his shrug. Like, you know, to me, he just suits an Infernal Pistol, but, obviously we play in a different meta. Someone else already asked tonight, Davey, what are my thoughts on 3D printing? I think if you're printing stuff for yourself, it's probably okay. I think if you're printing stuff to go to a tournament with, if it looks pretty accurate, again, if it's for yourself, it's probably okay. If you're printing stuff to sell it to other people, and you're literally selling what is Games Workshop models, then I guess that's, you know, that's piracy, I think, is the general consensus, and like, you shouldn't be doing it. But like, for example, we already talked tonight that like a Death Company box only comes with one Thunderhammer in it. So like, if some new Blood Angels player comes in here and says, how do I build my Death Company? And I say to them, get 2 boxes and make sure you've got 3 with Thunderhammers. And well, there's not 3 Thunderhammers in the box, which is dumb. But if they had a friend that could 3D print them like a single Thunderhammer, and they don't have to go and hunt on eBay and pay stupid money for it. I mean, I guess, like, you already bought the boxes from Games Workshop. This is the thing I don't understand with their tournament rules, right? They said, like, for Games Workshop sanctioned events or sanctioned tournaments, you can have no non-Games Workshop parts or models. Well, like, I already bought 20 Vanguard vets. There was no way for me to get the Storm Shields because they were on eBay for $5 a time, so I bought some third-party Storm Shields. It just seems a bit stupid that, like, now I can't use those models, but like, the only way I could get them would be like spend hundreds of pounds. So I guess, yeah, there's a lot of random questions there. Alright, I'm gonna have to go over all this yellow again at least once, probably twice, but we've at least made a start on doing the yellow parts of the guns. I wish I hadn't painted black under it, because it's just gonna cause me to do like 1 extra coat, I guess. Alright, I think that's gonna be me. Oh, thanks, Darth. Welcome to the channel. Nice to meet you. I guess I don't think we've talked before, but glad that you're enjoying the videos. We usually have a new video come out every Friday, so you know if you're not subscribed, stay subscribed or think about subscribing for that. And nice to see you in a live stream. We stream Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays every week. And it's a different thing every day. On Saturdays we're just painting. On Sundays we're looking at army lists. On Mondays we're playing live games. My entire army is tournament disqualified because I use 3D printed successor chapter shoulder pads. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. That's stupid in my opinion, Joe. You already bought the model. You already gave Games Workshop the money. If you want to put a custom... On one of my models, I put a different head, a custom 3D... a custom head I bought on eBay or something. And that disqualifies you. That's really stupid. But yeah, I got to work in the morning as well. Thanks for being here tonight, guys. Hope you enjoyed the stream. And yeah, tomorrow about lunchtime, new video coming out with interview with Jack. And then I'll be back Saturday night if anyone wants to hang out and do some hobbying on Saturday night. So have a good evening. Thanks for watching. By the blood are we made, brothers. Peace.